Welcome to the second annual Connecticut Water Environment Association Forum and Expo. By now you know me. I'm Tom Sgroi. I'm the engineering director at Greater New Haven WPCA, and the current president, we're going to have a new one soon, of CTWIA. Don't get too excited about that. The bylaws require an annual meeting, so we're going to do this, and we'll get it done in about 5 minutes, hopefully. For those of you unfamiliar how this works, I'll describe a motion to be made. I'll read the motion, and then I'll ask the membership for someone to move the motion forward. So when we do that, whoever that is, please note their name. Hopefully we have some note takers, some of the board members who want to take notes here. And I'll ask for a second. We also have to note their name. And then the motion will be put on the table for discussion. I'll ask for discussion. If there's no discussion on it, then we'll move it for vote, and it'll be a verbal vote. If for some reason it's close, then we'll do a tally, but I don't expect that. The first item would normally be acceptance of the minutes from last year. Since there wasn't a meeting last year, it was our inaugural event, and this is the first meeting, there's no minutes. So item 2 would be the Connecticut CTWIA bylaws state that the nominating committee submit to the president its nominations for directors and officers to be elected at the annual meeting of members. There we go. Okay, the terms of Tom Sgroi, Ben Levin, Norb Church, and Virgil Lloyd have expired. The nominating committee recommends the reinstatement of Tom Sgroi, Ben Levin, Norb Church, and Virgil Lloyd to the CTWIA Board of Directors. The remaining directors with unexpired terms are, oh geez, I just hit it again. Jane Lamart is the second year. Vanessa McPherson, second year. Larry Murphy, second year. Megan Ambrose, third year. Ray Barr, third year. Jeff LeMay, third year. And Serdar Murr, third year. That means we try to rotate so not everyone's expiring in the same year. So the resolution reads as follows. That the nominating slate of Tom Sgroi, Ben Levin, Norb Church, and Virgil Lloyd as recommended by the nominating committee is hereby adopted and approved by the CTWIA Board of Directors in the terms defined within the bylaws. Can someone please move this motion? State your name, please. Art Simonian moves the motion. Can someone second, please?
I'll second it. William Hester.
Thank you, William. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Please say aye. Motion passes. See, that was easy, right? Item 3, the CTWIA bylaws state that the nominating committee submit to the president its nominations for officers to be elected at the annual meeting of the members. The nominating committee is putting forth the consideration and approval of a slate of officers to include Jeff LeMay as president, Ben Levin as vice president, and Jane Lamort as treasurer. Proposed president Jeff LeMay is of South Windsor, WPCA, and vice president Ben Levin is from Hazen and Sawyer in the town of Marlborough, WPCA. Treasurer Jane Lamort is from the town of Stafford Springs, WPCF. The resolution reads as follows, that the nominating slate of officers consisting of Jeff LeMay as president, Ben Levin as vice president, Jane Lamort as treasurer is hereby adopted and approved by the CTWIA members. And I hit it again. The nominating slate of officers consisting of Jeff LeMay as president, Ben Levin as vice president, Jane Lamort as treasurer is hereby adopted and approved by the CTWIA members and board of directors, and the term of the slate of officers shall be 1 year expiring at the date of the annual meeting held in 2024. Can someone please move the motion? State your name.
So moved, Ray Weaver.
Thanks, Ray. Can someone second? Thanks, Art. Is there any discussion on this motion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. That motion passes. Congratulations, Jeff LeMay. You can clap. Can I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting? Please state your name. Thank you, Vanessa. Second?
Ray Drew, second.
Thanks, Ray. Any discussion on closing this? I don't think there is, right? All in favor? Aye. All right, the annual meeting's over. All right. We have a great agenda today. Similar format to last year. We tried to tighten things up a bit based on the comments, shorten it up, try to insert a little more, another speaker. It's never going to be perfect. It seems like we had comments on both sides of the fence. Too short, too long. It was a little bit of that, just kind of life, you know, the way it is. We have an update from Connecticut DEP, Carlos Sgroi. So we thank Carlos for coming to do that, and we really appreciate DEP's involvement in this event every year. Once again, we're going to give you the opportunity to try your hand at the pipe cutting. That seemed to be fun last year, so we're going to do that. You're going to meet a couple of Ops Challenge guys, Ryan and Jason back there, so say hi to them. Of course, we have a ton of great food and hospitality supplied by the AquaTurf. Thank you very much, AquaTurf. You did a great job setting this up. I'd like to thank Craig and Lydia, who are sitting right in front of me, for videotaping this event. The reason we videotape it, you can go on the website, you can see all these events from the past, even the CAWPCA events. So if there's ever a topic that you want to revisit, just go to the website and you can view it. Lydia and Craig will be wandering around taking photos too, so those photos will be up on the website. Don't forget you're eligible for 4.75 total contact hours for this. So before you leave, make sure you get that noted, that you were here and present the entire time. Most importantly, this is about networking and banding together as a wastewater community, you know, in kind of this fun and open format. Please visit the 30+ vendor booths that are around. Thank you very much, vendors, for coming. So over 40 municipalities represented here, so vendors take note, you know, give these guys some business, and girls. We have 180 registered. I don't know if that many showed up, but it looks like it's pretty close. And what else we got here? I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the workshop committee for their hard work on this. Bridget Bulkley, who's also my admin assistant at G&H. Where's Bridget? Is she here? She's always out there. She never wants to take credit, but make sure you say thank you to her because she really pulls it all together. She communicates with the AquaTurf and comes in almost on a daily basis and reminds me of all the things we haven't done yet. Jeff LeMay, Larry Murphy, who led this group, did a great job. And Janice Moran, for those of you who aren't aware, NUIA supports us. They're kind of the backbone behind the organization. So all of the e-blasts that get sent out, any messaging that has to go out, reformatting of stuff we quickly put together, Janice Moran handles that. Is Janice here or is she also out there? No, she's in there. Make sure you go out in the hallway and thank these folks because they're fantastic. Also, extra thanks to Jason Neininger and Ryan Harold for hauling in all the pipe cutting equipment. That's an extra task, so they kind of get an honorable mention there. You know, I guess that's all I really want to say on that front. So it should be a good event. All right, here's the sponsors. Normally I don't do this, but I want to do this because without this group, and most of these are signature sponsors, that means they're sponsoring us year long. You got Barton and Lowendice, Wright Pierce, Ty and Bond, Jacobs, Weston and Sampson, Cardinal Engineering, Fleet, Sgroi, Green Mountain, Black and Veatch, Industrial Flow Solutions, Savian Son, AECom, Fuss and O'Neill, Arcadis, Kleinfelder, Woodard and Curran, Hazen, SLR, CDM Smith, Brown and Caldwell, Aqua Solutions, Sanitary Equipment, Carlson Systems, Prime AE, Langen, Weston Sampson and Scavin Equipment, LLC. Please give them a round of applause, and give yourselves a round of applause because it makes up pretty much all of you guys. And now it's my great pleasure to congratulate Jeff LeMay as the new president of CT WIA, Ben Levin as the new vice president of CT WIA, and Jane Lamort as treasurer. Please stand, the three of you, if you're there. As many of you know, Jane was heavily involved in CWPA as the treasurer, and a lot more than that. She did a great job last year as treasurer, so we're happy to have her do that again for this year. Both Jeff and Ben bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to their roles, and I have no doubt they will continue to advance our organization in meaningful ways. All right, before I pass this gavel on to Jeff and let him finish emceeing, because you can see it can be a challenge, I want to take a moment to reflect my time as president of CAWPCA and CT WIA and express my gratitude to all of you who are involved in this industry. Each and every one of you is making a difference in our field, and your contributions are invaluable. I want to give a special shout out to CT WIA committees, all of them. You're doing important work on a daily basis. Our legislative committee in particular has become a powerful advocate for the ratepayers while maintaining the goal of clean waters. Their efforts are helping shape policy and making a profound impact in the industry. About 10 years ago, I became president of CAWPCA. At that time, the organization was struggling for volunteers. And just having a workshop was a monumental task. There was like 4 or 5 of us at the time. I don't know if you remember Vin Susko and Brian Armett, Robbie Marshall, Dave Ananowitz, Andrew Lord. And sometimes not all of us would show up at the meeting, and we'd have come up with some ideas, but maybe this gave me kind of a jaded look at it because I was the youngest one at the time, and they would come up with ideas, and then they all look at me and go, all right, what are you going to do? And I felt, I was like, I'm only one man, you know. So, but now we kind of fast forward 10 years, and to look at the organization, I still sit in the meetings, and I have that same approach, you know, as a president, you're sitting there going, all right, what are we going to do next? And people come up with ideas, and I kind of sometimes poo-poo them, and they're like, well, all right, who's going to work on that? Well, they kind of threw it back in my face this past year or so because, you know, we need a new logo. Larry Murphy and Jacob step right up. Boom, done, like that. One of the ones that I always, was concerned about was we want to do a poll, and how about if we poll our whole organization? I was like, oh geez, all right, how are we going to do this poll? Well, Ted Donahue just knocked that out of the park. Did the poll, sent it up to NUIA, we had it out in no time. I was like, wow, this is really a big change. And then the one to top it all off was the newsletter. We're going to have a newsletter. I'm like, having done newsletters for the G&H, I realized there's just a ton of time in putting those together. Well, I got to give credit. Megan Ambrose pulled Megan Slater and Kristen Kurtz from Wright Pierce. All of them knocked out a great newsletter. I hope you all saw it, and they hope to continue this tradition. So more power to you. I'm glad I didn't have to. I only had to write the header on this one. So now, Jeff, you have to do that next year. Then there's the summer outing. We want to have a summer outing. Well, Serdar Mer steps up, and now we have a great summer outing plan. We're going to go up and watch the Yard Goats up in August, so make sure you register for that event. I have a feeling that one's going to book out, so it's a great time if you haven't been to Hartford to watch a ball game there. Need volunteers for DC to go to the DC fly-in. You have Vanessa McPherson and Jeff LeMay step right up, and they go down to DC. They're going to talk about that. So our bench is deep right now. It's a big change. Said, but if you're like baseball like me, there's just not enough arms in the bullpen to go around. So we need volunteers, and just any little time or donation, anything you can give really helps us. So thank you for all the hard work and dedication, and please give yourselves a round of applause on that. The last thing I want to do is talk about the wastewater community as a family. It really is. My team at GNHWPCA, Bridget Bulkley, Mario Riccosi, Ricardo Sabalos, Isabella Schroeder, Luigi DeMonico, Pete Santoro, Nick Stevens, and also ops guys that I work hand in hand with, Gary Zarellick, Joe McGalley, Joe Torrey. See, you did it. You stuck it in my head. John Torrey, he said it to me this morning. Jason Neininger, Rick Hurlbert, Charlie Biggs. Without this team, it would not be possible to juggle personal life, work, and this organization. I'm truly blessed and grateful to work with such great people and who I consider to be my friends. But beyond that, in this day and age of the news, polar politics, we should all really appreciate the wastewater family we have here in New England. I don't think there's a more kind, grounded, and compassionate group. When my wife was going through one of the most difficult times this summer, I was moved by the kind thoughts and gestures received from everyone in our wastewater community. This is a great organization, but most importantly, you all are really great quality people. With that said, I have no doubt that under Jeff's leadership, our organization will continue to thrive and make positive difference in our field. Jeff, I'm honored to pass this gavel on to you and look forward to seeing the great things you accomplish as our new president. So everyone, Jeff LeMay, come on up.
Thanks so much, Tom. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words, and just very humbled to be up here right now. The turnout here is amazing. It feels like we just did this thing last year, which is kind of strange. And also at the same time, it feels like CTWIA as an organization has kind of been around forever now, which is good. I mean, the individual organizations were fantastic, but the whole idea was for us to all come together and kind of homogenize this thing. And it sort of really naturally happened the way I think that we all hoped that it would. And as I'm thinking back to starting in wastewater 10 years ago, coming in as an OIT Operator 1 with no experience, just very humbled to be here, not only with my position at work as a supervisor in South Windsor, but being president of this organization now, hardly even know what to say. Very blessed to work with a group of people, both at my job in South Windsor and this Connecticut WIA group. Thank you so much to all of you who have volunteered for the committees and done all kinds of work. I mean, it really has kind of come to fruition exactly the way that we hoped that it would. I do just want to take an opportunity and just say thank you to Tom. Tom's been out there for a while doing this stuff, obviously with COPCA and now with CTWIA. He's somebody we've always been able to reach out with in the past. I know ourselves in South Windsor, we reached out to Tom for a little bit of assistance with the manhole raising issue with Connecticut DOT when that was a problem. And Tom's just done a tremendous amount of work. He's somebody that I greatly look up to and I look to for guidance, and it has been a real mentor through this whole process. So it would be remiss of me not to at least mention Tom and acknowledge all the work that he's done and the tremendous job he's done as president of CTWIA. So Tom, not to put you on the spot, but if you could just stand up and be recognized, I think Tom deserves a big round of applause from all of us here.